Once every 100 years, under the pull of 3 forgotten moons and a tide stained red, the sea opens a place that is not supposed to exist. It is called the Siren Market, a drifting realm hidden in folds of current and memory, where the deepest ocean secrets are traded like coin. No surface dweller has seen it and returned the same. Kai Mercer was not searching for legend. He was chasing one last thrill before retiring his diving gear for good, a half-drunken dare, really. The old wrecks off Saluna's coast were rumored to hum when the stars aligned, and Kai, once a world-class diver and now mostly a ghost of himself, couldn't resist. On the night it happened, the sea was unnaturally warm. His sonar glitched. And then, through the crackling static in his headset, came a sound that didn't belong, not whale, not machine, but a harmony, feminine, layered, alive. It wasn't just music. It was invitation. Curiosity dragged him deeper. Lights danced where they shouldn't. He breached the surface expecting open sea but rose instead into a violet-skied lagoon wrapped in mist, the stars overhead unfamiliar, burning red. The waves were too calm. The air smelled like salt and old sorrow. And the singing grew louder. He had entered the Siren Market. It wasn't built by hands. The coral grew in jagged arches that pulsed like veins. Anemones whispered prices. Paths shimmered with scales from creatures older than bones. And the crowd, oh, the crowd. Mermaids with rusted tiaras and jewel-eyed eels wrapped around their waists. Sea witches with hair like seaweed and lips stitched shut, trailing jars of bottled laughter. Leviathan cubs with tentacled limbs that flickered in and out of visibility. Every being, every vendor and customer, glittered with something uncanny and terrible. They traded things no human could value, the scent of a first kiss, a century of forgetfulness, the memory of a mother's face, the ability to feel fear. Kai wandered, unseen, heart pounding, too afraid to speak, too awed to run. Until the bells tolled. They turned, all of them, and stared. The auction had begun. And he was the item on the block. Still breathing, hissed one witch. Unfiltered soul, crooned a mermaid, sharp-toothed and regal. He dreams. I can taste it on him, whispered something scaled and half-shadow. He ran. But the water thickened around him, each stroke like swimming through tar. He sank to his knees on the glowing sand. Magic curled around his limbs like seaweed. His heart thudded slower. His vision blurred. And then a voice sang, clear, sharp, and ancient. Not calling him, but claiming him. The crowd parted as Lyra entered. A siren unlike the rest, with eyes like distant galaxies and black glass scales that reflected Kai's own fear back at him. She wore no crown, but the water moved when she did. She was not cruel, but not kind either. Her gaze was heavy with recognition. She sang again. Images flooded Kai's mind. He saw himself, no, a version of himself, standing beside her in another life. He saw promises whispered beneath waves, a kiss before war, a sacrifice that ripped them apart. He hadn't dreamed these things, but now he remembered them. He had loved her. And he had been taken from her. Lyra stepped forward. The auctioneer hissed, demanding her offer. She did the unthinkable. She offered her voice. A siren song, once gone, cannot return. It is life. It is power. But she gave it away for him. The ocean listened. The sea accepted. Her final note rang through the market like a cracking bell. Coral shuddered. The stalls folded inward. Creatures screeched and vanished into the void. The market was collapsing. Kai crawled to her, gripped her hand, pulled her through the whirlpool of vanishing magic just as the portal closed, leaving behind only silence. He woke up adrift in his boat, mouth full of salt, head full of song. His camera was fried. His oxygen was full again. There was no proof. No sign the market had ever existed. Only a strand of black glass hair wrapped around his wrist, and the humming echo of a voice now gone forever. But some nights, when the moon turns strange and the tide forgets itself, Kai still hears her, singing without sound. And he knows. the Siren Market will open again. And this time, he'll be ready to pay the price.